What's up, beautiful people? Alright, so thought I'd give a little quick update. Gotta figure out where I'm at here. So, getting some of the parts together for this 360 build. I did find some rockers. And sitting around. It was clean that I got from somebody. They've been sitting around a couple of years now. You can probably see the dirt that's in them, dust, all the little bits and pieces down inside there. So those do need cleaned. To get my cam cover plate, hold down plate, whatever you're gonna call it, oil slinger. Pulled out a box. These are the springs that's out of my Ram 50 engine because they've got the Hughes part number. I saved them in here. I got some push rods cleaned up, the valves, retainers, locks, all that. And I didn't even clean these up. That's how they came out. That nice. I will go over them. Same thing as these. Give them a quick wash before going in the engine. Also, if you didn't notice, got a tonneau cover on the truck. Don't match it in color, but it's on there. That'll help me get some more mile an hours. Going down the track. Give me a little extra weight on the rear end. Where maybe I don't spin as much. Although all I gotta do is play with the tire pressures a little bit more. So flip it back. So did get the heads cleaned up nicely. As you can see, this in here's got some surface rust on it already, so you got to get to that. But today what I am working on are the lifters. So get moved around here. Hopefully you stay. Working with the lifters. Does it need more light? I don't know what I just did with my light. It's over there on my socket. Not going to worry about it. You're not going to see everything anyways. Not going to be able to. So, that's just how it is. Not fully important that everybody else sees what I'm doing. As long as you get a general idea of what's going on. Alright. I think you can see now. So, if you can see, down in there, I'll use the pick to point. So, yeah, you can kind of see that lip down in there on the shiny spot. Maybe I will grab that light. Be nice if you can see what I'm talking about. Alright, yeah, so you see the shiny ring down in there. Maybe I should start from the beginning. So, I've got all the lifters already taken apart, but so you've got this little cup that goes down in there, and then what holds it down in there is one of these clips right there on the table. Yeah, you can see that. So mainly you just take yourself a pick Pick at it, get it up out of there, try not to damage it. Hold a finger over it somewhat when you're trying to get it up out, otherwise it's just going to take off on you. I've had that happen. End up having to get a different lifter. Because if you don't have a clean space to work in, things go flying and you can't find them. So mainly, get yourself some type of air gun. The oiling hole here. What this is, it's got a piece of brake line on it, air gun. Your oiling hole there. Once you remove that clip, take and spray some air there. Try to cover up the end that way it doesn't go flying off. So on the side of this upper cup, I'm sure it's got a particular name for it, but oil goes through there into here. That's how your lifters oil things. So grab one I've already been through. So this in here, you can see how it's got the double lip there. So as once these are pumped up with oil pressure feeds them. How exactly the oil gets into them, I'm not 100% sure. Besides this hole here, so that feeds it. I was thinking that was to squirt back out, but maybe not. That's probably how they're just fed, is through that hole. So it feeds oil through that hole down into here. This little cup sits on top of there. All this fills up with oil. It feels like it's got a spring in there. I've never gotten this centerpiece out. I've tried. Don't know what's holding them in there, but it works. So when you push up and down, or push down on it, and you can see with my finger just pushing down, it should come right back up. Where your old dirty ones, they're down in there. You can't see that second ring very well. I don't know if you can see it at all. Maybe we'll take that light again. Not too much. Yeah, you can see the lip of it, probably. So, pushes down a little bit, comes back up a little bit, but not as far as what it should. So what I do, I'll take the air gun again, stick down in there in the center, give her a squirt. Felt a bunch of junk come out of that. So it gives you a chance, once it's up higher, gives you a chance to get down in there a little easier, at least. And go through and clean out all the gunk from where somebody's not changed their oil, or maybe they were going to some Jiffy Lube place that uses cheap recycled oil. Or they was buying that oil from the dollar store. Anyways, get down in there with your pick, you can clean that out. Once it's popped out like that, with the air, you can't necessarily push it back down. So I take the push rod, put down in there, and what I do is I just stab the table with it. Now as you can see, this one is up where it wasn't before, and now you can see it going up and down. So if you take the push rod, push down on it, work it back and forth, make sure it's nice and working properly. And you can also spin your push rod. I don't know how well you guys are seeing this because I'm looking at it instead of the camera screen. but that whole inside cup does rotate. Comes back up on its own. Push with one finger, not holding it. You can see it going down, push down, comes back up on its own. So you go through all your lifters, clean those up. I also have some transmission fluid in a little squirt can, if need be. Your transmission fluid will help clean that up a little bit. You can go around that ring on top that the little clips go into. This one got a bunch of goo in it, a bunch of carbon built up. So you can see how dirty that came out. I'm gonna wipe that off, and there's even more down in here. See a big chunk that just fell out right there. That's just terrible. So just trying to blow the crap out of that one. As you can see, that lower cup didn't pop up. Try to get the end tip of your air hose down in the center and give it a squirt. And as you've seen, that one popped up. And now since this up, as I just stated on the other one, you can get down in there. You can see better down in there to be able to pick out any of that carbon buildup. And then blow it out. It ain't got to be 100% clean. Just try to make sure you get any of the chunks out. And then make sure you can work it back and forth. And it goes up and down. Nice and freely. It don't catch on anything. And then you got one done. What I did is I go through, remove all my clips, take the air hose, and give her a little squirt in that little side oil hole. Pops that upper cup out. And then I get ready for this process. So pop that one up. And by blowing air down in there, you get most of that gunk out of there, carbon gunk. And then I just got some residual stuff just stuck there, baked on it. And then I can get through and scrape that off. Give her another squirt. A little extra there. Grab my push rod. Give her a smack. Drop it on the dirty ground. I got to give all these another cleaning. So try not to drop them on the dirty ground. You gotta get crap down in them. You gotta blow that nozzle. It would be nice to have a concrete floor, but it don't. Go through and make sure it's clean. Another squirt. Don't remember if I already worked it back and forth. And you can also press down and hold. If they don't come back up, you know they're sticking on something somewhere. So if you ever hear somebody talk about making sure your push rods are fully pumped up, take it however you want to take it. By the time you put your cup in there and you put that spring on it, it should be quite stiff. Putting your retainer spring back on. Not going to show that because I still want to go through these and rinse them all out. But it's not the easiest thing to do. They may or may not make a tool for it. I don't know. Here and there you'll also get one of these where that lower cup you don't want to push out. Found sometimes you can just give her some smacks. And sometimes they'll come out, sometimes not. Had it directly on the table, and now it popped out a little bit. So that was in there pretty good. I'll have to work with that one. More or less just following the same process. Whether you use a push rod or screwdriver, what have you. Try not to use a push rod that you plan on using in the engine. Like this in here, since it was sticking, squirt some transmission fluid in there. Work it back and forth. As you can see, I'm twisting my hand back and forth, trying to rotate it inside there. You probably won't see it rotate on camera. You might. So, pushing down in on its own and coming back up. So, got that freed up. And then after I free them up, I set them to the side, upside down. That way they just sit there. And then any other fluid can come draining out. Well, it's got these all cleaned up. The lifter hold downs. I've got the spider tray somewhere. I've also got an extra one. I was thinking there was more stuff I was wanting to show. That's mainly it though. Sure, if you guys want to stick around to the end of the video, maybe something else will pop up that I see that I didn't already pre-mention. Maybe not, I don't know. A couple of these stuck in there. I can see it moving now. There we go. Now the air compressor kicks on. sticking. I'll work it back and forth. Most of the gunk cleaned out. Transmission fluid's real thin. Kind of helps work as a cleaning agent of some sort. And it lubes it up at the same time. Feeling pretty good now. Getting bubble out of the oil hole there. Pretty good, call that one good. Alright, air compressor shut off. Hoping I wouldn't have to walk clear to the front of the garage. Just kick breaker off on it. Don't have a switch on it back here. If you're afraid of getting oily or whatnot, you probably shouldn't be doing this. You will get some on you. Probably wear some gloves. As everybody knows, how oil causes cancer, and everything else in the world that you touch causes cancer. And even if you just look at it sometimes, it'll probably cause you cancer. But by getting all this gunk out of there, carbon buildup, hopefully you don't have a stuck lifter. Do it right. Take your time, clean it properly. It's always nice when you can get done with the project and then drive it down the road and everything runs really good, like it's brand new. More power than what you've had in it before, because by now everything is broken and wore in. So some of your tolerances may be larger than what they was from the factory. And when you go through rebuilding things, you normally upgrade the stuff back in anyhow. Whether it be an upgraded cam, set of lifters, do a little bit of cylinder head porting, which is always something that you do, or at least something I do, unless it's on something for somebody I don't like and they want to pinch pennies and don't want to pay. For the most part, I try to port cylinder heads. May not do a big job on it. May just go through and clean up some of the casting. the way I put it to people. You see those little burgers and casting defects down in there. Just like when you're breathing, you got a burger in your nose. No matter how big or how small, you notice how big of a difference that makes once you get it out. Same thing goes for your engine, for your cylinder heads. Your intake sucks it in. If you got those little burgers there, things blocking your airflow, they make it harder for it to suck in air, just like breathing through your nose. So try to clean up your intake ports of your cylinder heads. If you can clean up some on your exhaust side, do so on that also. They don't have to be as big, as cleaned up, because they're being forced air out. So anyways, nope, still had one lifter left. Forgot. Set this one off to the side because of this, and I couldn't get to come up yet. So let's work on it. Still not popping up. Hopefully I'm not forced to grab another lifter. I've got extras. I can feel it moving some now. And there it goes. It's worked its way up. Before I give it a squirt. After I give it a squirt. All the way to the top. So, break her back free. I'd like to know what holds these in there and how to get them all the way out. It's nice to take a wire brush on a drill, get down in all these and fully clean them, but not always the case. And once you break them free all the way, they spin. It makes it a little bit more difficult to clean that carbon buildup out, because you can't just go back and forth around in circles, because then the whole lower cup spins. You just got to kind of pick at it. Alright, yeah. Going to be blowing around a lot of air. You might want to put anything that might blow away. Connect it to a magnet. Yeah, this metal. Hope I didn't lose any of my clips. We got 4, 8, 12. Nope, all 16 of them still there. So, even on a metal table, by smacking those lifters on there, you still leave little scratches and stuff. So always be mindful if you're going to be sliding something across there in the future where the surface of it's somewhat important, or of any importance. Even though I had on gloves, these ones aren't those nylon tape gloves you see at the doctor's office or hospital, so they still get oil coming through them. But if I was to use those, they would just rip up constantly. So use these. I can take and wash those off and reuse them. If I need to. So hopefully that video wasn't too long. It's longer than what I thought it was going to be. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments. We'll see you later. Thank you for watching.